Well, hello, folks. Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. Is the spirit, body, soul conundrum that complicated? No. It's quite simple, actually. And I'm here to describe it to you, to explain it to you today in terms that make it very easy for you to understand if you're willing to understand. I can make it super easy for you, but if you're not willing, if you're not willing to understand it, then you won't. So you have to be willing to say, oh, okay, I get it. It's like, if you got to take your medicine every now and then. And it's very interesting to me that this body, soul, spirit conundrum, it's not just a conundrum for Christian people. It's a conundrum that follows us into the alternative information community. And it's really not that difficult. It's simple, actually. And I'm going to explain that to you. And my apologies for getting out of this. The work to help people get their LIFETRACK analysis back dialed in, to be able to get their spirit overriding their soul and to get them back in contact with the divine database and the comforter activation. It's hard work for me. It is taxing. It is absolutely exhausting. The only thing I can compare it to is if you ever watched the Hannibal TV series and you remember the Will Graham character and how exhausting it was for him to do what he did. It's exhausting for me. And I'll be honest with you, I've been a baby. I haven't been active in it. So I'm going to start. We have started again. We're going to work with 5 people for that first 4 to 7 week period. I think I got 1, maybe 2 slots left. And then hopefully after that period, I can have gained some more stamina. We could go to 10 next time, and possibly even one of the people that goes through that might be called, is the only word I can think of, to be a part of helping other people. So anyway, we're going to do it 4 to 7 sessions. Go to my website, jeffreydaugherty.com, and let's take a look at that real quick, because I was kind of impressed with myself when I went there. Here's the Get Help Now, LIFETRACK analysis and repair. If you're interested, read this and respond accordingly. But this is something that I looked at, and really I blew my own mind, ladies and gentlemen. You know what the paranormal trip is? That's when we take you to the great spiritual places. And I'm blown away by what we've already done. We've already done Coral Castle, Georgia Guidestones, Nashville Parthenon, the Hermitage, Lookout Mountain, Cassadaga, and Kennedy Space Center. And coming up next week, Vero Beach and the Fort Drum Crystal Mine. In May, Key West. In June, we've almost got this set for sure, Brushy Mountain State Prison, St. Augustine to follow. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12 places, and we're only in, going into the 4th month. So we've been doing some good work. And I'm very, very thankful to you for helping me do this good work. And the way that this good work gets done is very, very simple. People are going and looking at MYSTECH. That's what I got on my wrist. They're finding that it is very helpful for their lives, or reading the testimonials. And they're ordering through my website, through right here, hitting this donate button. So they're helping themselves. And when you see this, donate to Jeffrey Daugherty, MYSTECH Bands by Jeffrey Daugherty, you're also helping the Christian whistleblower do the paranormal trip and other things. So that's how we're doing what we're doing. That's what we do with what we're doing. And it's very, very powerful. It's very, very encouraging. And I'm getting back to my stamina. I'm getting back in shape. And you know what? I'm getting back in physical shape. And I think that makes a big bunch of difference. I'm back. I'm on the MYSTECH, which I think makes a big bunch of difference as well. It's amazing. And I just noticed that Sandra D'Angelo had a new video that she's just posted in her Conscious Conversations. I encourage you to all go there and listen to that. She's got a dude that's a big expert on teaching meditation, and meditation is one of the keys to unlocking your kingdom, and the LifeTrack analysis that I'm back into is another key. And thank you. I mean, I announced it yesterday that I was going to go back, work with 5. We've got either 4 or 3 already committed. So there's 1 and 2 spots left. You know where to go on the website, and you know what to do if you want to get involved in that, if you really want to change your life, if you really want to find out what you're missing, if you really want to get your LifeTrack back in order, and if you really want to get your spirit in charge of your soul. So, Jeff, if it's so simple as you claim that it is, why are so many people so confused? Well, let me show you why so many people are so confused. It's actually very, very simple to see and to know and to understand why. Here it is. And it's funny that this comes from Paul's pen. Paul, the first great corrupter of the doctrines of the Christ, according to Thomas Jefferson, according to Mark Twain, and according to Jeffrey Daugherty. That's company I don't mind keeping right there, ladies and gentlemen. Jefferson, Twain, and me. Gotta like that. They believed that Paul was the first corrupter of the doctrines of the Christ, and he was the first antichrist, if you mean by antichrist, the biblical definition, which means against the Christ. So here's Paul, and I don't know why they do it, but I'm glad they do it. They tell us what they're going to do. They tip their hand. They tell us what they're doing. They tell us what they've done. And you know what? I guess they just think we're too lazy or too stupid to know. Look at this. Why is there so much confusion around body, soul, spirit? And I'm getting some tremendous revelations around this, ladies and gentlemen. Take me to places that not only would I have not gone before, but I have preached against, I've taught against, I've spoken against. And every now and then I'll get an email, "You're such a hypocrite. You said here that you believe this, and I just saw you yesterday and you say you believe that." Hey, Poindexter, pointy head, look at the dates on the video. If that video is 5 years ago, 6 years ago, guess what? There's a real good chance that I don't believe everything I believed 6 years ago. There's a real good chance I don't believe everything I believed 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. And can I just suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, I know that this is radical. I know that this is out there. I know this is over the top. But may I suggest to you that if you believe exactly what you believed 5 years ago, 4, 3, 2 years ago, might I submit to you that you might question if you're growing at all, or are you stagnant? And there's really no stagnation. You're either growing or you're dying. There's no treading water. So be that as it may, the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which don't believe, lest the glorious gospel of Christ should shine unto them. Okay, the God of this world. The God of this world. So let's stop the conjecture right there. Who's the God of this world? Well, the God of this world is Inky or EI or EIEIO, or I don't know. Well, the God of this world is this one. The God of this world is that one. I think there's an easy way to determine who the God of this world is. I think there's a very easy way. Let's add up the amount of people worshiping gods and see who the God of this world is. Okay. Roman Catholics, about 1.5 billion. Roman Protestants, about 1.5 billion. That's 3 billion. Okay. Jews, about a billion, I'm sorry. That's 4 billion. And I'm probably a little light on the Catholics, a little light on the Protestants, maybe a little light on the Jews. So let's say 5 million, just to round it off. 5 billion with a B. There's 5 billion people. Let's say 4 billion. Let's be conservative. Let's say there's 4 billion people worshiping the God of the Old and New Testaments. And we don't have, that's not conjecture, that's fact. Jack. 4 billion. There's only about 8 billion on the whole planet. Now, I'm a Bible college graduate, not a math major, but I know that 4 billion out of 8 billion, that's 50%. I have to check that out, Z Golden Report. I need to see the source, and I need to study that. I'm a little bit skeptical. I'll tell you right now. Did you see the Pope says hell isn't real? Show me some sources. Show me some data. But anyway, 4 billion people between the Roman Catholics, the Roman Protestants, and the Jews. But what are we forgetting? We're forgetting the Muslims. And there's a couple billion Muslims. Okay, let's just say there's 1 billion Muslims, but there's more. So now we're up to almost 6 billion. Okay, let me do the math. Let's see. Let's do this. Carry the 1, cross the 2, conjugate the verb. Let's see. Shit, 6 billion is most of 8 billion. 6 billion is most of 8 billion. And guess what? The God of the Jews, the God of the Roman Catholics, the God of the Roman Protestants, and the God of the Muslims, same God. Oh, but the Jews call him G-D. But the Protestants and Catholics call him Lord. But the Muslims call him Allah. It's the same dude. Read the books. Have you read the Old Testament? Have you read the New Testament? Have you read the, what's it called? The one that Muhammad wrote, the Quran. Same God, same player, same dude. So there's 8 billion, and 6 of them are following this one God. You tell me who the God of this world is. You tell me who the God of this world is. How much conjecture does it take when 6 billion out of 8 billion are worshiping the same God who is the God of this world? The one that 6 billion out of 8 billion are worshiping. That's the God of this world. Sorry if logic bugs you. See, it's simple, actually. But we have been under this voodoo, hoodoo, Christian magic with a K that we can't even think straight anymore. If you just sit back and think straight, who's the God of this world? 6 billion out of 8 billion worship this one God. Oh, he's the God of this world. And what has he done? This God, the God of Judaism, the God of Islam, the God of Roman Protestants, the God of Roman Catholics, can I just tell you, I am loving this. I'm having a great time. I'm having such a good time that if I was having any more of a better time, there'd have to be 2 of me. Rooney is having a great time, laying right here, watching, waiting for the meaty hour to approach. I am having so much fun. I mean, this is just great stuff. And it's simple, actually. The God of this world, we know who he is. What has he done? He's blinded the minds of them which don't believe. He's blinded the mind of those that don't believe. Don't believe what? The glorious gospel of Christ. Okay. So the God of this world has blinded the minds of people so they don't believe the glorious gospel of Christ. Ergo, the glorious gospel of Christ is not the gospel of the God of this world. Do you see what I did there? It's called logic. God of the world's blinded people's minds. We know who the God of the world is by simple math. And that God has blocked people so they don't believe the glorious gospel of Christ. Well, gospel's another one of them religious words. What does gospel mean? Well, let's see what gospel means. Verse number 4. What does it mean? Does it mean that which is preached from the pulpits of all the great churches? Does it mean that which is done with smoke and done with incense and homina, name of the bada da bing, da boom, bow down 3 times a day. Hey, have I offended everybody now? I think so. Is that what the gospel is? Or any of those gospel? Are any of those gospel? Rooney, that was too much for Rooney. He couldn't take the call to prayer. What is the gospel? Well, the gospel is good news. Good news. Simple. So the God of this world, that 6 out of 8 billion people, Periscope, worship. The God of this world, that 6 out of 8 billion people, Facebook, worship. The God of this world, that 6 out of 8 billion people, Twitter, worship. That God, he's blinded people so they don't hear the good news. What's the good news? The good news is it's simple. Simple, actually. But what is the good news? It's the good news of the Christ. What did Christ say? You've got the spark of divinity in you. You got the kingdom of God in you. And in the box below, there's a link to the video that I just did a little while ago that says you're a spirit trapped in a soul trying to get back. That's the good news. And it's simple, actually. So the Christ good news was, bam, you're not filled with original sin. You got the spark of divinity within. You're filled with the kingdom of the heavens in you. And the good news of the Christ is you don't have to do what we say, when we say, how we say, where we say, because I've already given you the ways and the truths that lead to life. And not only life, but life more abundantly. And just if that's not enough, I've also given you peace that passes all understanding. Jeff, how can you be so chill when so many people hate your guts? Because I'm following the ways and the truths that lead to life, and I've got life more abundantly. Whoa. Jeff, how can you be so chill when people hate you so much? Because I got peace, not like the world gives, but peace that passes all understanding. That's why when the Christians hate on me, I got peace. That's why when the Roman Catholics hate on me, I got life. When the Roman Protestants hate on me, I got life more abundantly. I don't get much trouble from Muslims, but when the other people in the alternative information community hate on me, I got peace that passes all understanding. And it's simple, actually. What's the gospel that the God of this world keeps from you? No original sin, kingdom of heaven within. No worry about hell and not being good enough. Here's the ways, here's the truths that lead to an abundant life. And Here's peace that passes all understanding. The God of this world, and remember, the God of this world is the God that 6 billion people worship. That God. It was so good, Rooney had to come back. That God, he is trying to prevent you from getting this good news that I just gave you, that nobody else has been giving you for like 2,000 years. Wow. But wait, there's more. What's he doing? He's blinding the minds. Back we go to the Greek. Rooney, are you ready for the Greek? Here we go. He has concealed it. Concealed it. What does that mean? He's veiled it. He's hid it. He's concealed it. He's covered it up. There's a cover-up. I just told you yesterday that this is the original conspiracy, and maybe it wasn't yesterday, a few days ago. The blueprint, the wizard, is the deception. The blueprint. Well, Jeff, I wasn't quite sure that you were, exasperating the conjugation of the Greek and the Hebrew litigation. There's a cover-up, yo, right here, black and white. I told you there was a cover-up, and I told you this was the source of the cover-up. Rooney, what do you think? Cover-up. So he's covered it up. Covered it up. He's covered up the fact that there's no original sin. He's covered up the fact that you got the spark of divinity within. He's covered up the fact that it's not rules and regulations and do's and don'ts. It's here's the ways, here's the truths that lead to life. It's not about just trying to get along under the circumstances. What are you doing under the circumstances? Get on top of the circumstances because, sorry, you're supposed to be living life and life more abundantly. Oh, I'm so worried. I'm so stressed. Oh, God, how am I going to make it? What am I going to do? Why? That tells me you don't have the peace that passes all understanding. Rooney, peace that passes all understanding. He's chill. Me, peace that passes all understanding. I'm tan. I'm getting thin. I'm feeling good. Of course, I don't know I'm going to pay my rent next month, but hey, it is what it is. And for those of you that say you hate it when I drink, I'm really sorry. The God of this world has blinded people so they don't believe the gospel of the Christ. It's simple, actually. It's concealed. Now, let me ask you something. If I was to go out on the road, if I was to go out on the street right now and ask 10 people, well, let me say, if I was to go out in front of a church on Sunday and ask 10 people, what is the duty of the church? What would they tell me? They would tell me that the duty of the church is to save souls, wouldn't they? Save souls. Save souls. And you know what? They're right. The duty of the church is to save souls because the God of this world is interested in souls. Because the God of this world made souls. And you're trapped in a soul. You're a spirit created in Genesis 1:26 and 27 in the image of the Elohim. You're a spirit. And some spirits are male and some spirits are female, which blows my mind. But it's true. It says right there, Genesis 1:26-27, you're a spirit. Over in Genesis 2, when the Lord, the God of this world, conned you into souls, and now we're born in souls. Why do you think the Lord wants to save souls? Why do you think the God of the Bible wants to save souls? Because he can only control you when you stay in a soul. If you're in a soul, he can control you. When you're in your spirit form, he can't. When you're in a soul, you can be under his control. When you're in a soul, you can be matrixed. When you're in a soul, you can be guilted. When you're in a soul, you can be subject to fear. But when you're in your spirit form, get that con out of my face. Fear, get that con out of my face. Guilt, get that con out of my face. Control, get that con out of my face. Rooney says, get that corn out of my face. So he's got to keep you in souls. So he wants to save souls. What's he want you to do? Give your soul to Jesus. Why? So Jesus can hang on to it and keep milking you. Rooney, you're freaking banging the camera, dude. It's all about souls. It is all about souls. Because you're not a soul. This is a soul. It's simple, actually. So that's why, I'll be frank with you, I don't like doing the life path analysis work. I don't like it. I'd rather make videos. Rex Bear doesn't have to do no life analysis, LifeTrack analysis. He can just make videos. Why do I got to do LifeTrack analysis? I'm being facetious, obviously. But it's work, and it's hard, and it's exhausting. But it's the key that's going to set this world free. So guess what? I got to do it again. And if you want to do it, let me know. You know where to go. There we go. I feel better now. I don't know if you do or not, but I feel better now. It's simple, actually. And I think this is going to be a serious, because we're going to talk more about this stuff. You're a spirit trapped in a soul trying to get back. And you'll keep coming back until you realize, I'm a soul. No, scratch that, wind it back. You'll keep coming back until you realize you're a spirit. Oh, duh, I'm a spirit. I'm a spirit. I'm not a soul. All this time I've been worried about this soul. You'll keep coming back until you realize that you're not this soul, and you learn to exteriorize or get your spirit out of this soul. Because I guarantee you, brother, I guarantee you, sister, the second you, bam, get 3 feet behind the back of your head, you'll be like, oh, I get it. And then you're free. Free to do what you want to do. But until you get, bam, 3 feet behind the back of your head, or at least become really convinced that you can, you're coming back again. You're circling the airport of karma. Come on back, come on back, come on back, instead of lifting off from the launch pad of this life into the realms of spirit. Pretty good analogy. It's simple, actually. You're a spirit trapped in a soul trying to get back, and you don't know this and you fight against it and you mumble and go, well, let me study. Let me just study. You ever heard of analysis paralysis? I'm just saying. You're a spirit trapped in a soul trying to get back, and you'll keep coming back until you realize it. Until we have liftoff, as I'm Canadian, sorry, A says. I couldn't say it any better myself. I'm Canadian, sorry, A. We have liftoff. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you to have ignition. T-minus 10 seconds and counting. We're trying to get you to get ignition. And I know that makes somebody mad. The NASA analogy. Visit Sandra D'Angelo's channel. Visit Heidi Vandenberg's channel. Visit Rex Bear Leak Project channel. Visit R. Wayne Steiger. Visit Trisha Gelder. Visit Overwatch channel. Who am I forgetting? Subscribe to my channel. Like this video. And stop making it hard on yourself. Because it's simple, actually. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. You are the Gospel Truth Army. I salute you. Visit JennyMoonstone.com. I said Rex. Come on, keep up. Guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, be your own guru, ask questions, question answers. Now, I know those are just things that I say every time, but think about them. It is time to guide your own spirit. It is time to master your own ascension. I said, Wayne, it is time to be your own guru. Most people don't think spirit is like that. That's because they've been blinded by the God of this world. What did I forget, Rooney? Oh, yeah. Unindoctrinate yourself.